Good afternoon class. Today we will study about the general description of ticks affecting domestic animal and birds. Ticks are obligate blood parasites and they are found in every region of the world. Almost 850 species of the ticks are known worldwide and they are important vectors of diseases affecting both humans and birds. They fall under the class Arachnida, order Acarina, which includes both soft ticks and hard ticks and minute creatures which are microscopic in nature, mites. Antennae, wings, compound eyes and body divisions are absent or indistinct. These arachnids, they feed on tissue fluids by a well developed sucking pharynx. Now this is a figure showing internal anatomy of a tick. So you can see the foregut, the Malpighian tubules are the organ of excretion, also the coxal glands, midgut, and you can appreciate the bunch like structure which is known as salivary glands, and the hindgut. Now coming to the difference between class Insecta and Arachnida. So the body division is distinct in class Insecta. It is divided into head, thorax and abdomen, whereas in class Arachnida the body division is indistinct or absent. Head usually shows the presence of antennae in case of class Insecta, whereas in case of class Arachnida antennae may or may not be present. Wings may or may not be present in class Insecta, whereas they are absent in case of class Arachnida. Now here in class Insecta, adults show 3 pairs of legs, whereas in case of class Arachnida, in adults there are 4 pair of legs, whereas in larvae and nymph there are only 3 pair of legs. Metamorphosis is complete or it can be incomplete in case of class Insecta, whereas it is incomplete in case of class Arachnida. Then insects are oviparous or larviparous, or they may be pupaриparous, whereas arachnids are only oviparous. Now this is a dorsal view of tick. Now coming to the mouth parts. Mouth parts in arachnid, it consists of a pair of chelicerae and pedipalps which are sensory in nature, and a median tooth-like structure known as hypostome which contains recurved teeth. Here the body is divided anteriorly into gnathosoma, which consists of mouth parts which are present on a plate known as basis capitulum, and idiosoma, the posterior part which consists of podosoma which bears 4 pair of legs, and opistosoma which consists of the abdomen. Now coming to the general life cycle of the arachnids, it starts with egg which hatches into a 6-legged larvae which molds into nymph. Here nymph are protonymph, deutonymph and tritonymph. This nymph resemble to that of adult, but they lack the developed sexual organs. Then it molds into imago, then finally adult, which possess 4 pair of legs and well developed sex organs. Now this is a pictorial depiction of a general life cycle of a tick. Now the order Acarina, it is divided into 4 suborders. Suborder Ixodoidea, which is an order of hard and soft ticks. Suborder Mesostigmata, which includes gamecid mites of poultry. Suborder Trombetiformis, which includes Demodex, the red mange. Suborder Sarcoptiformis, which includes Sarcoptes and Sauropsid mites. Now these are the hard and soft ticks. Now coming to the comparison between the hard ticks and the soft ticks. So we can see that in hard ticks the dorsal shield is present and on the entire dorsal surface, whereas in case of soft tick this dorsal shield is absent. Then in case of hard ticks, the mouth parts, they are present terminally, therefore they are visible dorsally, whereas in soft ticks the mouth part, they are present subterminally. You can see here that the mouth part, they are present subterminally, therefore they are not visible dorsally. Then the sexual dimorphism is well marked in case of hard ticks, whereas it is indistinct in case of soft tick. So here summing up the difference between the family Ergacidae, the family of soft tick, and the family Ixodidae, the family of hard ticks. So the porose areas, what are the porose areas? They are the collection or the clusters of tiny depressions present on the anterior surface of the basis capitulum. So, it is absent in females in case of Ergasidae, whereas it is present in females in case of Ixodidae. Then the body surface is leathery or mammillated in case of Ergasidae, where it is smooth, and there is presence of scutum in case of Ixodidae. Now, scutum is absent in case of Ergasidae, whereas scutum is present entirely on the dorsal surface in case of males in Hartrix, whereas it is limited only to half of the body in case of larvae and nymph, and it is restricted only to 1/3 of the dorsal surface in case of females. Then festoons. Festoons, they are small rectangular area present on the posterior margin of idiosoma, which is absent in case of Ergasidae, whereas present in case of Ixodidae. Then eyes, if they are present laterally in the supracoxal fold in the Ergasidae, whereas it is present in the lateral margins of the scutum in case of Ixodidae. Spiracles, they are located between coxa 3rd and 4th in case of Ergasidae, and it is present behind coxa 4 in case of Ixodidae. This we have already talked about. Now, this is a figure showing Hartric, where in male the dorsal shield is present on the entire surface, whereas in female the dorsal shield is limited only to 1/3 of the dorsal surface, because when they are fully engorged, their body enlarges enormously. Now, coming to the bionomics of the ticks, depending upon number of hosts involved, ticks can be divided into 1 host tick, 2 host tick and 3 host tick. So, coming to 1 host tick, here the entire stages are found on the single host. So, here after the female lays eggs, there is hatching of the 6-legged larvae. So, it will seek the host. After engorgement, it will mold into nymph, then imago, then adult. Adults fall off from the ground and again female lays eggs, and this is how the life cycle goes on. Now, coming to 2 host tick life cycle, here the larvae, 6-legged larvae, after hatching, it seeks the host 1. After engorgement, it molds into nymph. This nymph drops to the ground and it molds into imago. Imago seeks the host 2. After engorgement, it molds into adult. Adults again falls on the ground, and if it is female, it lays eggs, and this is how the life cycle goes on. Now, coming to the 3 host tick life cycle, here all the stages of the instar, they are found on the 3 different hosts. So, here there occur hatching of the 6-legged larvae, which seeks the host 1. It engorges blood, then it molds into nymph. Nymph drops down, it seeks another host 2, then again it engorges blood, it molds into imago. Imago drops down, it seeks another host 3. Here it engorges blood, molds into adult. Adults drops down, and if it is female, it lays eggs, and this is how the life cycle goes on. So, examples of 1 host tick is Buphyllus microplus, 2 host tick Hyaloma anatolicum anatolicum, Rhipicephalus evertsi, Rhipicephalus bursa. The examples of 3 host tick are Rhipicephalus appendiculators, Rhipicephalus sanguinus, Haemaphysalis species and Ixodes species. Now, coming to the Hartrix. So, first the brevirostrate. Brevirostrate ticks are those having short mouth part, short palps and hypostome. So, the ornate ticks are those which possess a colored enamel on the dorsal surface. So, first is the Dermacenter species. Here eyes are present and festoons are also present. Then inornate ticks, Rhipicephalus, where eye is present, festoons are also present. Then Buphyllus microplus, eye is present but festoons absent. Then Ixodes species, where eye is absent and festoons are also absent. Then Haemaphysalis species, where eyes are absent but festoons are present. So, this is a figure of Buphyllus microplus, which is known as tropical cattle tick, found in India. It transmits Babesia bigemina, which is a causative agent of red water disease in cattle, and also it transmits Anaplasma marginale. Then Buphyllus annulatus, it is known as North American tick, and Buphyllus decoloratus, It is also known as blue tick, and it transmits Babesia trotmani in case of pigs. Here the anal groove is absent in female, where it is faint in case of male. Here the coxa one is bifid and the spiracles are circular or oval in shape. Next is Rhipicephalus appendiculatus. It is known as brown ear tick. It transmits the East Coast fever, which is caused by Theileria parva. It is not found in India. Then Rhipicephalus sanguinus, it is known as brown dog tick. It transmits Babesia canis, Ehrlichia canis, Hepatozoon canis and Babesia equi. Here the coxa with two strong spurs are present and the basis capitulum is hexagonal. Dorsally anal or adanal plates are absent. Then Rhipicephalus evertsi is also known as red-legged tick. Now coming to Dermacentor variabilis, also known as American dog tick, and Dermacentor nitens, known as tropical horse tick. Hemaphysalis, here palps are short and conical. Spiracles in female are ovoid or comma shaped. In male it is ovoid. Hemaphysalis bispinosa, it transmits organism causing Kaisanur forest disease in Shimoga district of Karnataka. Then Hemaphysalis lychee is also known as yellow dog tick. Then Ricinus, Ixodes ricinus, it is known as castor bean tick and it transmits Babesia divergens. Now coming to longirostrate heart ticks. Longirostrate means they have got a long mouth part, long palps and hypostome. So first the ornate tick, it is amblyoma. Here eyes present, festoons are also present. Then in inornate ticks, eyes are present and festoons may be present or absent in case of Hyaloma. Hyaloma anatolicum, it is usually a 2-hose tick, but it may also use 3 hose depending upon the various species. Here spiracles are comma shaped in male and triangular in female. It transmits Theileria annulata, it is present in India. Amblyoma hebrium, it is a bond tick, 3-hose tick. Amblyoma americanum, it is a lone star tick. Here a large white spot is present in case of female on the scutum. Amblyoma variegatum, variegated tick or tick tropical bond tick. Now this is a figure showing Hyaloma species. You can appreciate the long mouth part. This is a figure of Hyaloma anatolicum which is found in India. Now coming to the family Ergacidae, family of soft ticks or non-scutate ticks. So 3 important species in veterinary are Ergus persicus, commonly known as fowl tick or soft tick of poultry, Otobius magnini, spinose ear tick of dog, Ornithodorus sevigni, eye tympan of Africa, and Ornithodorus mau beta, it is an eyeless tympan of Africa. So Ergus persicus, in this integument is leathery and mammillated. In Otobius magnini, the integument is mammillated with numerous spines, whereas in case of Ornithodorus species, the integument is hairy and mammillated. Then in Ergus persicus, the body is oval, which is pointed anteriorly. In Otobius magnini, here adults are non-parasitic and in between there is a depression which gives it a fiddle shape. In Ornithodorus sevigni, the body is rectangular with a small constriction in the middle. In Ergus persicus, the body edges are sharp. In Otobius magnini, the body edges are indistinct, also in Ornithodorus. This is a figure of Ergus persicus. So you can see that the dorsal shield is absent. Then this is a figure of Otobius magnini. It has numerous spines on its dorsal surface. This is a figure of Ornithodora mau beta, the ventral view, and this is the ventral view of Ornithodora sevigni. These are present in Africa. Now coming to the life cycle of Ergus persicus. It is found on the body of fowl, and the female, it lays eggs in cracks and crevices and the sheltered spots in the houses, which hatches in 3 weeks of time into 6-legged larvae. Now this larvae feeds on the host, and in a period of 5 to 10 days it molts into nymph and finally adult. So here the nymph and adults, they are usually hide in cracks and crevices during the daytime, and it bites the host or attacks the host during the night time. It is highly pathogenic, causes anemia. We can see that the adult female on an average it can suck 0.5 to 2 ml blood per day. They cause a condition known as tick worry, which creates restlessness and reduced feed intake in case of birds. It also acts as transmission of Egyptianella pullorum, a rickettsial organism, and also Borrelia anserina, which causes tick paralysis in ducks. Now, tick paralysis, this condition is characterized by acute ascending flaccid motor paralysis. So, this is a pictorial depiction of the life cycle of Ergus persicus. Now, coming to Otobius magnini, found in dogs. So, here the female lays eggs in cracks and crevices or in sheltered spots. A 6-legged larvae hatches in 8 weeks of time, and which attaches into the ear below the hairline. In a period of 1 to 7 months, the nymph it molts into adults. So, here adults are non-parasitic. It is the larvae and nymph which are parasitic. For its treatment, a mixture of chlordane 40% plus 1 part of palm oil is instilled into the ear. Now, coming to Ornithodorus species, here also larvae are parasitic, not the adults, and it is not common in India, found in Africa. It transmits Borrelia anserina, which is a causative agent of relapsing fever in men, and also African swine fever virus. Now, coming to treatment and control of ticks. So, various insecticides and acaricides they are used. Insecticides like organophosphates, Cumafos, Zolone, carbamates like Carbaryl, pyrethroids like deltamethrin and cypermethrin, they are effective. Now, not only the treatment of animals, but also the treatment of premises is equally important. Therefore, in case of one host tick, acaricides they should be repeated after every 21 days interval, whereas in case of 2 host and 3 host tick, it should be repeated every 7 days interval. Then we can also go for pasture burning or cultivation of land, or even pasture spelling, that is leaving the pasture uncultivated for a period of month or so. Then we can also go for selection of resistant breed. It has been seen that Bos indicus they are found more resistant compared to that of Bos taurus. Then growth of repellent grasses like Stylosynthis in and around the animal premises are also found to be effective. Now, coming to the biological control, use of Hymenopterous parasites such as Huntarellus hookeri and Ixodiphagus, they are found effective. They parasitizes the nymph of the ticks and lays their eggs inside them. A vaccine has been developed against Boophilus microplus, tick guard in Australia and Gavac in Cuba. It is a recombinant vaccine, and here concealed antigen BM86 has been used. So, when the ticks bite to such vaccinated animal, their reproductive potential of female decreases. So, the eggs which come out, they fail to hatch into larvae. Thus, the animal can be protected. Thank you.